Welcome to Crimson Guitars, welcome to a mini-tutorial. I'm going to take you through very quickly, very rapidly, and I've just slowed it down by saying the same thing two different ways and then talking about it. Fret ends and rolling them over, making them comfortable, because in the end I think it is probably the most important part of a guitar build or a repair is how comfortable your neck is. It's the user interface after all. And fret ends is something that people tend to ignore or forget about, or basically just do poorly. So, first of all, you need a leveling beam, fret end dressing file, and sandpaper, of course, and some fret rubbers, or another way of polishing. And then you need to set up. Masking tape. So, we want to protect the guitar, and then it is on to a leveling beam. We already have, I'm going to assume the guitar is already built, we have the correct angle on the fret ends. In this case I want to roll the fretboard over because that is as much a part of this process as anything else. This guitar has carbon fiber binding, carbon fiber and stainless steel, which is just to make things a little bit more fun. So make sure you've rolled the edges over, and the instrument is going to be more comfortable. I forgot to mention brush. Clean away the crap as you go. So we now have about 1 millimeter of bevel at the edge of the fretboard, and it's already feeling much more comfortable. Now, next up, we have a fret end dressing file. It is perfectly flat on one side and the other side is rounded. You want to take the flat and very gently, there we go, I'm going to do the 4 around the inlay. Just nip the edge off. And we are not taking a lot. It's literally just nipping it. If you turn the end of the fret into something more akin to a boat, you're going to have problems. Once you've done that, flip it over so that you've got the rounded side. So if you've seen, I keep that flat to the fretboard and I make sure to nip the whole end off. You don't want to go halfway up or a quarter of the way up the fret. Round over to turn it over to the rounded side. And there you have it. Doing another 3 frets. And here we go. Flat side down. And at a slight angle, I'm just taking maybe 25 degrees. And that's nipped the corners off just. Then flip that over. And that's all you need. You don't want to round all the way up to the top of the fret, and I'm doing this before leveling frets. Okay, next up, get yourself some 240 grit paper. Okay, we want to roll 240 grit paper into a nice tight roll like that, or possibly around something, but I tend not to bother with around things. And then make like so. It is essentially a tool, and it is rounding over the fret ends. And getting into all the parts where we have been with a file. Obviously I normally do along an entire length of the guitar. Now this is also going in between the frets and further rounding over the fretboard to make it more comfortable. I don't have any more file marks left. You have to make sure that you get rid of all the file marks. I'll move on to 320 grit, just for fun. Roll that up, and do similar. Now finally, I don't want a hard edge, so I will take some 320 grit paper, wrap it around a finger, and as much as anything else, I'm rounding over the binding and just double checking. Move on to the medium grit Crimson Guitars fret leveling rubber. There we go. That would be a nice trick. Fret polishing rubber. Now, these are nice and flexible. Medium. Fine. You can go edge on. You know, the abrasives are all over the place. It depends on what's comfortable for you. And finally, super fine. These are so fine that they're not damaging the fretboard. In fact, these things make great fretboard cleaners when you have a really gunky fretboard. You can also lift them up so there's more of a, so it's getting everywhere that you could require. And there we go. Those fret ends there are now nice and shiny and polished. You can't see any file marks, and most importantly, they are comfortable. Unfortunately, I now have to do the same thing with the rest of this guitar. And there we have it. Fret ends. I cannot emphasize how important it is to feel comfortable. It's if you've got a crap old keyboard, then you hate your computer. If you've got a good keyboard, the whole computer seems better. And it holds true with guitars as well. You could have the cheapest, nicest guitar. Good fretwork, well set up, it plays like $1 million. Speaking of $1 million, if you fancy buying this guitar, this is a production, it's a custom shop that I'm working on at the moment. Myrtle Beach from Tasmania. It's gorgeous. Yeah, I get to play around every now and then. But check out Crimson Guitars, drop us an email, and we'll go from there. But, well, it's probably gone by the time you watch this. Anyway, thank you for watching. Click like and subscribe. If you have any other ideas for mini-tutorials, let us know. See you soon. Cheers.